Hi, Tracy Leslie here with you again for this final weekday of Holy Week, Good Friday. And I'm sharing with you verses of scripture from John chapter 19, beginning at verse 28. After this, Jesus, knowing that all was now finished, said to fulfill the scripture, "I thirst." A bowl full of vinegar stood there, so they put a sponge full of the vinegar on hyssop and held it to Jesus' mouth. When Jesus had received the vinegar, he said, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. I don't know how well you can see, but this was a gift that I got when I went to my prior church in Castleton. Penny Walker, the director of children's ministry at the time, she did this with the children in the children's ministry program. She laid something across here to make the outline of the cross, and then she had the children paint around it. You can see, you might not be able to see all of it, but some really nice arrangements and colors. I remember, though, her telling me this corner down here, I think you can see that, it is really busy. There's a lot happening down there. And I remember Penny telling me, I believe the child that had colored in the square had attention deficit. And I remember Penny telling me that she had to tell him that, like, he had enough paint on there. It was done. He was finished. He needed to be finished. But, you know, I don't think that's anything unique to children with ADD. I think we all kind of struggle in life to decide when something is finished, when something is complete, when we've accomplished what we really wanted to achieve. I had a book published at the end of last year, and the hardest part of the publication process was the proofs at the end. They would send it to you, and they were really clear in the instructions. You were only to correct actual mistakes, typos, things like that. But every time I read it through, it went back and forth 4 times, because every time I read it through, there was something. I would read a sentence and I would think, I just don't like the way that sentence came out. I want to just recraft that sentence, even though I wasn't supposed to be doing that at that stage in the game. It was hard. I mean, finally I had to just be like, okay, just put a fork in it, it's done, send it in and be done. And I think that's just human nature. We struggle to know, have I done my best at something? Have I really done what I set out to achieve? Is it complete? Is it finished? So as Jesus hung from the cross that Good Friday, and he said those words, "It is finished," by that he didn't simply mean my life is over, my life is finished, it's done, finished. But rather he meant that he had accomplished, fully achieved and completed the work that God the Father had entrusted to him, the laying down of his life for us, that Jesus had completed that, had finished that work entrusted to him. So I want to share with you today, since I've been sharing these readings from the Gospel of John all throughout the week. First, let me say that you can hear the entirety of John's Passion this evening via Zoom. Trinity is having a Zoom service with the Tenebrae service reading Jesus' Passion. Information about that is located on the church website. I hope you can join us and for the full service. But right now I want to share the last psalm this week. It's not a Lenten hymn. It's actually an anthem by John Stainer called "God So Loved the World." It's based on John 3:16. So you can Google the lyrics, or, well, you can find them in John 3:16 as well. Hope you enjoy it.